Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am building another home here in Willow Creek and I'm very excited to share it with you guys. I hope you guys do like it. It is the last lot that I had to build on in this starter neighborhood and I'm so happy to finally be finished with this neighborhood. I think it looks so cute. I love this New Orleans style that I went for and yeah, I hope you guys will like it too, but of course let me know what you guys think. So as you guys probably know, I haven't uploaded in a while and I'm so sorry. I kind of took a unplanned vacation. Well, not really. My brother-in-law came to visit. I mentioned that in my last video and I only planned for like a couple days of not really being at my computer or working on videos, but it ended up turning into like a whole week. We did lots of fun stuff, so I do apologize, but I had a really nice time. We went to a couple art museums, we went to some shows in LA, we did a bunch of stuff and it was so nice. It was such a lovely visit. And then after he left, it was my husband and I's 9-year dating anniversary, so we spent some time together, went and painted pottery, went out to eat, ate ice cream, and just kind of enjoyed ourselves. I don't know, it just kind of all happened and it was a really nice time, but I have missed you guys and I'm so happy to be back. Sorry I didn't post anything about it. I thought about posting on my community tab to say what was going on, but I felt like it would be so much to explain. I don't know. So I decided not to and decided I would just explain it a little bit in this video. But yeah, so my brother-in-law was here. We had a 9-year anniversary and then it was one of my best friend's birthdays, so we went and got our nails done. It was a lot of stuff. It was such a busy week, but it was so many fun activities and I just really enjoyed myself, but I'm so happy to be back. And yeah, so anyways, so for this build, it's of course for my save file and I haven't mentioned this in a while, so in case you guys have missed it, I'm planning on having my save finished sometime around June. I think that's a reasonable amount of time to be finished. Of course, if I take any more time away, that's not going to happen, but I don't plan on that happening. I think we're still on track for being done around June. And this house I was thinking was for a couple of roommates. When I was first building this, I was hoping to have enough room for 3 Sims. I mean, of course you could have couples in here, but I imagined 3 separate roommates, but I ended up only having room for 2 bedrooms because the bathroom would have ended up being probably way too small, at least for what I wanted it to be, so I decided to do a 2-bedroom house. But if you decide to download this and you want to play with a family that has a couple of kids, you could of course have them either share a room or the master bedroom, or at least what I imagine the master bedroom would be. I'll point it out more when we get onto the interior because I think it'll make more sense then. But I think you could split that room into 2 rooms because it's pretty big. It's not really set up as a master bedroom. It doesn't have an ensuite. There's only 1 bathroom. But I mean, of course you guys could always rework the floor plan because there's kind of a lot of hallways. It was a little bit hard for me to work out, but of course I haven't built anything in a week, so floor planning is already not my strong suit, so coming back in and trying to work out a floor plan was probably not the easiest thing for me to do, but I think it still worked out pretty nice, and I really do like this house. So for these Sims, I was thinking that they were 2 guys, and they're really into like outdoorsy activities. They like fishing, and they like sports like basketball, so I put a basketball hoop outside. I also put a barbecue as well as an outdoor dining table outside. A couple of planter boxes. I figured maybe they do a little bit of gardening. I don't think it's like their main thing though. I definitely imagine them to kind of ignore their yard a little bit. So I do make it quite overgrown, like all of the landscaping. I did go a little bit overboard because I kind of wanted this house to be a little bit more on the cheaper side, or at least appear to be. So I probably went too crazy with the landscaping because that'll really increase the price of a build, but I don't know, I just had so much fun with it. This landscaping that I've been doing in this neighborhood is some of my favorites for my entire save, so I just went a little bit crazy, but I think it's really pretty and I hope you guys will like it too. But here you can see I'm working out the floor plan. I really wanted the main part of the house to be there in that open area where I put the fireplace, and then I wanted there to be kind of a back porch, back exit way to the house. What do you call it? A back foyer? I'm not sure if you call it that, but that's where I wanted the washer and dryer to be because that's really similar to the house across the street where the BFFs live, and it's really similar to I think a couple of the other houses that I've built too, because I really wanted this neighborhood to look very cohesive. Like all of the houses were from the same era, from maybe the same architect, like very, very similar style, so I think that looks really good, and I just really had a lot of fun with these houses. I'm kind of sad that this neighborhood is finished, but I think once my save is complete, maybe I'll revisit this style and do something a little bit different, but try to do something a little bit similar at the same time. I'm not exactly sure, but I just love this style so much, and I think these houses are so cute. But there I didn't like the concrete paths that I had kind of worked out, so I erased them and I go back in and pretty much do the same thing, I think just slightly a little bit different. And at this point, I really wanted to make sure that I had enough space for the kitchen area, so I decided to put in some cabinets just to make sure that it fit in here, because I wanted there to be an island and I kind of wanted it to wrap around this area. So I just wanted to plan it out first, and then I also make sure I can fit in the furniture around the fireplace, because I really wasn't sure if I was going to be able to fit in a dining table in here. So I do kind of get all of this worked out a little bit, and then I go back to the exterior and do all of the landscaping, and then I come back into the interior to finish the interior decorating here in the living room area. So it's kind of a little bit all over the place, but I think it all works out pretty nicely, and hopefully you guys don't mind me jumping from the interior to the exterior, but yeah. Anyways, so here I'm just picking out all the flooring. I decided to use all of the same flooring throughout the entire house, so the same tile in the bathrooms as in the kitchen. I really like this base game linoleum floor. It's one of my favorites. I think it's so simple and really pretty. I don't know. I like it anyways. And then I used that wood flooring that came with cats and dogs. It's so pretty. I love it in this dark brown color. I think it's really nice, so I like it a lot. But this is basically how the kitchen looks. I don't end up keeping that coat rack over there. I end up putting that coat rack, I think, by the front door. And then here I'm just placing out the couches. I end up going with these green ones. I felt like they would work pretty nicely in here with all of the dark brown colors, and some of the light woods I felt like went really nicely with those greens. This house ends up kind of having a little bit of a rustic look to it, because I was trying to pick things that looked a little bit older and a little bit more worn, and so it kind of ends up having a rustic look without necessarily going for a rustic style necessarily, but I think it suits the guys that I had in mind. But here I am starting with the landscaping, and I just go kind of crazy sizing up these different plants like the flowers and sizing some things down, and I just think it turns out so nice, and it blends into Willow Creek I think really well, because a lot of the plants that you see around the sidewalk and the road are basically almost the exact same plants that I used here, so it just blends in really nicely, and I really like it a lot, so I hope you guys will like it too. You could of course delete some of it if you're trying to move into this house and save some money. I'm sure it would bring the cost of the house down a lot, but I feel like doing this overgrown type of landscaping makes the house look so old, and I kind of wanted this to look like an older neighborhood, like these houses have been here for years and years, and they're kind of just overgrown, maybe a little bit run down. I mean, I didn't try to make any of these houses look run down necessarily, but just a little bit older style I think is what I was going for. But anyway, so here I'm just working out the pathway for the back, so it's very similar to what I had earlier, but I decided to go in with the dirt terrain paint first because I wanted it to look a little bit worn, so you have some of the dirt like poking through the rocks a little bit more when you do it this way. I don't know, I thought it looked kind of nice and it was a bit of fun. And back here I really wasn't exactly sure what I should add. I really wanted to add this basketball hoop. So you saw it there for a second. I do end up pulling it back out and putting it where the barbecue is, and I was trying to merge it into this fence post, but when I took my player tester sim on this lot, I couldn't get her to use it, so I did have to pull it outside of the fence post, but I wanted it to look like it was maybe part of the fence, like they had like, I don't know what I was thinking. It didn't really work out that way, so I just pull it back out, and I think it looks really nice. And then I use this table that has the umbrella merged into it. It's the one that came with cats and dogs. It's the picnic table with the umbrella, and I think it looks pretty nice. I don't use that one that often, but I thought it worked back here. And then they have the barbecue over here, and then I thought about extending the pathway and not doing as much landscaping back here, but I decided to just go for it and put plants all around here. And then there's a couple of planter boxes, and yeah, I just really like this backyard. I think it's really cozy. I guess it's more of a side yard than a backyard because this lot's kind of a weird shape. I think when you upload it to the gallery, the front of the house is actually the part of the house that I used for the thumbnail. And I used that for the thumbnail because that's the side of the house that gets the best lighting, so it was easier to get a nice bright picture for a thumbnail. But when Sims show up on this lot, they use this side of the house as the front of the lot. So it's kind of weird that it's opposite to what it is on the gallery photo, because usually the front of the house is the front of the picture. I don't know. Hopefully we can customize those eventually though, because some of the pictures for the gallery is like horrible. You have like a tree in the way or a rock in the way. Even this one, I could have probably took a nice picture from the front and then just brightened it up a bit in Photoshop, but there was like a light post in the way and I think maybe a tree or something, so I couldn't really get a good shot of it, but oh well. Anyway, so here I am decorating the front porch. I do a Well, I was going to do a seating area over here, but I do a chess table, and then I have the other seating area where I used those benches that I believe are base game, or are they part of the holiday pack? I don't know, I get so confused, but I'm pretty sure they came, yeah, with the Caribbean update. So they're base game, but they look really cute, so I put them over here. And then back here I do a dining table, and then I do a little toy box for some dog toys because I imagine that they have a dog. And I was thinking that it was one of the guys' dogs, but I do go back to that side porch and add a woodworking table because I decided that that was a little bit more useful than having another seating area that really wasn't that necessary. And then here I am starting off decorating the interior, and I start off by decorating the front area of the house. So I put that coat rack there, and I love that worn rug that came with Get Famous. I just put it there in the living room, but it's probably my favorite rug in the entire game. Maybe, well, there's two swatches of it that I really like that are really worn, and I think they're so cool. I tried using the other one somewhere else in this house, but I couldn't quite get it to work, so I decided not to. But this is pretty much it for the entryway. I did use a lot of debug objects in this house, by the way, so that box full of a bunch of junk right there is from City Living, and that's where your Sims can like rummage for snow globes and stuff, but I think it makes great decoration. And then I also used some fish plaques and put them, I think, in their bedrooms, and then that one there in the entryway. And I also put the corkboard here above the dining table, so I put a couple of postcards on that. I also merge a calendar into it because I think that looks pretty good. Like, it looks like the calendar is tacked up onto the corkboard, so you'll see that here in just a moment. But the salt and pepper shakers are from Dine Out, I believe. I'm not exactly sure, but they're in the debug menu, so I have them there on the dining table, and I think they look so good. I try to use them in a lot of builds because I feel like they're really realistic. And then also the remote in the debug menu, I don't end up placing it here when I first decorate the living room, but later on when I'm going through the debug menu, I remember it and then place it on the coffee table, and I think it just looks so good. And I really like changing the color swatch of that fireplace. I felt like it being in the darker brown color just really blended into like the brick and then like the dark wood floors. Maybe that's just me, but I felt like that looked really nice. And then I also switched up the color of the bar stools to be a darker brown color. And then over here I put a bookshelf with this high back chair that came with cats and dogs. I just love this chair so much. I know I probably mentioned it too much, but I really hope that we get more chairs like it. I really like that it has that kind of cushiony blanket draped over the top of it. It's so cute. I love that extra detail. That's one of my favorite things when we get new furniture, when they have blanket details or they have like cushions and pillows, and all of that extra stuff just really adds like so much more like realism, and just it's just so much more pleasing. So hopefully we will get more stuff like that in the future. I'm so antsy, by the way, for new content. I feel kind of like something is about to happen. I've been so busy this week, so I've been a little bit away from like Twitter and stuff, so I haven't exactly kept on like tweets and stuff that the sim gurus are talking about, but hopefully something is coming. I feel like we should get news about something like any day now. Maybe that's just me, but I feel like it's time, right? Yeah, I feel like it's time. So I'm definitely ready for a new pack, even if it's just a stuff pack, but I'm not sure. I've heard some people say that they're not going to do stuff packs anymore, or they're trying to like phase them out. I'm not exactly sure if that's true or not, but I've heard rumors, I guess, about that, so I hope not, though. I personally really like stuff packs. What about you guys? What is your guys' favorite? My favorite is probably game packs because I feel like you get a lot more for the price, and I feel like they're always really well made and have a lot of detail. Yeah, game packs are probably my favorite, but I do like stuff packs too, so. But anyways, I'm decorating the kitchen right now, and I just added a bunch of like clutter decorations. I really wanted this kitchen to look lived in. I was trying to not clutter it up so much that it was going to be unusable, so I did make sure to play test it, and your Sims were able to use the island counter to chop up and prepare their food without any problems. And then over here is that back foyer area. I'm not exactly sure what to call it. My family always calls their back door area their back porch, even though it's not outside, so I'm not sure if that's correct, but I decided to put a little kind of laundry room right here, so I put the washer and dryer, and I felt like that looked really good. I really like the washer and dryer in this green color. It's not the exact green that I would have wanted, I think, for this build. I would have liked something a little bit more similar to the couch color green, but we don't have that color, so I went with this one, and I still think it looks really nice. I could have went with a brown color. I think that would have probably matched the build pretty nicely, but I don't know. I felt like these ones were a bit of fun, so I really liked that. And then here I'm just picking out some decorations from the debug menu. I put the remote on the coffee table, and then I just find some boxes and soaps and things that I thought would look pretty nice here on this shelf. I wanted to find things that actually snap to the shelf surface, so when you're in the wall cutaway mode, they're not just floating in the air. I don't always worry about that, but sometimes, I don't know. I wish that they wouldn't just float there when you use the Control 9 key or, move objects to be able to place things on shelves, but so I decided just to find things that snap to the surface, but here I am just kind of organizing some of the decorations. I really wasn't sure what to put in these hallways, so I just kind of put some random stuff. I put a plant over here, and I put these dressers. I just pushed 2 of them next to each other so it looks like one longer dresser, and then I just put a few clutter decorations and items up on top of it. I put some dog food there over by the washer and dryer because they do have a dog. I think it belongs to the guy in the master bedroom. I haven't exactly figured out what kind of dog it's going to be, but yeah, I figured it's his dog, and then his roommate doesn't have a pet. He does have a frog in his room though, so I guess that's his pet. And then they also have this fish bowl in the hallway, so then maybe they share the fish. I'm not exactly sure, but I definitely imagine them as kind of animal people, just really into outdoors and like camping and stuff. So I definitely imagine that they're into nature and doing some like bug collecting. Oh, I think I did put a bug somewhere in here. I can't exactly remember. I think I might have. We'll see when I go to decorate the bedroom. But this is the bathroom, and I really like the way their bathroom turns out. It's a really good size bathroom. I put lots of decorations on the counters, and then I used that shower that came with Parenthood with the swatch with the baseball on the shower. I thought this was really nice for the characters that I had in mind, because even though I think they're probably more into like fishing and camping and those kinds of things, I think they're a little bit into sports as well. So I think for these 2 guys, they would probably pick this shower, and I think it just comes together really nicely. And yeah, I just picked out some rugs, and then that's it for the bathroom. And then this is going to be the first bedroom that I decorate. So this bedroom I think is a pretty good size. So I think if you wanted this to be like a parent's bedroom and then split the other room into 2 rooms, you could definitely do that. So that's what I was talking about earlier. But for this guy, I think he's a little bit more into conservation of like forests and stuff. So that's why I put those plaques that came with city living. So maybe he's in the politician career. I haven't exactly worked out what careers I want them to have. So if you guys have any ideas, please let me know. But I think maybe he's into forest conservation. So he's really into nature and wants to preserve the forests and those kinds of things. So there's his frog though. It's that red frog. I forget exactly what it's called, but I felt like those decorations on his table or on his dresser looked really nice. And then I put the bulletin board above it, thinking that maybe he's, I don't know, saving information for something. I haven't exactly figured that out either, but yeah. I think his room turns out pretty nice. I really like this bed that came with cats and dogs. I felt like it looked really pretty with these wood floors and the light blue walls. And then that poster that I put above the bed came with Get Famous. I almost forgot the name of the pack. It came with Get Famous, but it kind of reminded me of like Indiana Jones, which is probably this guy's like favorite movie or something. Thought that was kind of a fun idea, and then I gave him a guitar as well. And then there I just put the woodworking bench outside because I felt like that was just a little bit more useful. And then they could both do some woodworking, because I did put a few objects in the house that I believe you make with the woodworking table, so I felt like that was kind of nice. And yeah, that's basically it for his room. And then this is going to be the room that I was thinking is the master bedroom. It's just the bigger bedroom. It doesn't have an ensuite, but you could probably fit one if you would like to. But like I mentioned several different times, you guys could of course rework the floor plans depending on which family you have live in this house. And for this room, I really wasn't exactly sure all of the things that I wanted to add, but I definitely wanted to put a pet bed in here. So this pet bed did come with my first pet stuff. So if you don't have that pack, we of course got the pet beds that came with cats and dogs, but I thought this one was just a little bit of fun. I liked how it just looks a little bit fluffier than those ones, and I liked the bright colors and the kind of fun animal pattern. I also gave each of them their own computer so they could sit and do their own work or their own socializing and anything that they needed to do on the computer. I felt like if they're 2 young adults, they probably have their own computers. And then I just put a few decorations here on the counter. I also moved the bed, I think, to the wall to the right of the screen. Yeah, I just kind of shuffle things around. I didn't really like the way I was laying out the furniture. I gave both of them a mirror and a laundry basket so they can do all of those kinds of things. I was going to keep this dresser, and I put that stump of wood up on top of the dresser. I do end up moving it over to the computer desk and then putting a different dresser there, but that's besides the point. The stump though, I thought was really cute, and I don't think I've ever noticed it before, but it has like a heart carved out into the wood or into the bark. And I think that's so adorable. So maybe he has a girlfriend or a boyfriend. I haven't exactly figured that out, but I'm definitely going to have him be dating somebody, and then that's his little special stump of wood. Or maybe he's broken up with the person. I'm not exactly sure, and maybe he's still trying to work things out, so he holds on to this stump of wood from maybe a date or something. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys have any ideas? Because I'm not exactly sure, but I thought that decoration was so cute, and I'm going to have to use it more because, yeah, I don't think I've ever noticed it before. It's absolutely adorable. But here I am just switching out the dresser. I felt like, I don't know, the other one was just a little bit too, I'm not exactly sure, but I decided to switch it out, and I think that one looks a little bit better. And then I just hang up some artwork and switch out this decoration, and then I just add a few more final touches to the build. But this is basically it. Then we are on to the screenshot, so I hope you guys have enjoyed. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm so sorry that I haven't uploaded in a while. It really wasn't my intention or plan. It just kind of happened, but I had a really great time. But I'm so happy to be back because I missed you guys so much. And yeah, hopefully you guys have liked this build. Please let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys do enjoy the screenshots. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And please leave any comments or suggestions that you have. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!